Hey, this is Brandy with Fiery Effects, and today we're talking about creating your branded email address. You can be you at yourbusiness.com. So let's get into a little bit about why this is important. First of all, perception. If you've ever been handed a business card with a Gmail, Yahoo, or worse, AOL address on it, your perception of that person is immediately set. The first impression of a business is not so great when you don't have a branded professional email address. Second, let's talk a little bit about that brand. Who is it that you're representing? If you've got an AOL email address on your card, I probably don't think you represent AOL, but again, you're not representing yourself or your brand. You're missing this opportunity to brand your company. And then you're also missing an opportunity to be taken seriously. Sure, Gmail addresses are very prevalent. Maybe you're in startup mode. Maybe you're working for another company. You are a network marketer or that's it. But at the end of the day, you're not going to get an email address at the company you're representing, so you have to create your own brand to be taken seriously. A couple things you should know. An email address is not the same as an email account. An email account is the place where your email arrives. An email address is a place where is just a label that people use to send it. So I have the better part of 20 email addresses. No one probably should, but I do. I just have one email account. So a really important thing for you to understand is that you can have many email addresses and still have one place to check your email. Other thing to know is that an email host is not the same as a web host. So maybe you're starting on your website and you've gotten a web host or a hosting account, and they say free email accounts included. Don't do it. You want your web host to be world-class at hosting websites. That's very different than hosting email. Email hosts have a whole lot of other things to worry about, and you want your emails to be delivered, and you want to make sure that you receive all your emails. So my professional recommendation is never to use your web host as an email host. Instead, you should choose one of the email hosts out there. Now, I'm going to give you this information about what is really the right way to set up email, and then we're going to talk about what you can do if you're really still bootstrapping it. So Gmail or Office 365, Google or Microsoft, pick a team. Use G Suite, which is Google's product, or Office 365, which is Microsoft's product. You have to buy your domain, and then you pay them $50 per account per year to host your email. It comes with calendar, contacts, etc., etc., etc. This is really the right way to do business email addresses because it future-proofs you. It sets you up for success when you have someone else that needs an email address at your company or your team grows, things like that. This is the right way to do it. But we're also going to talk about today the right-ish way to do it. So maybe you're not ready for that level of investment yet. Maybe you're still just proving out your idea, but you need a branded email address. You need an email address at a domain. So the right-ish way to do it is we can create a forwarding address and then set it up to be able to send. A forwarding address is just a way to get email to a certain place, but when you create a forwarding address, it doesn't enable you to send email. So we're gonna solve that problem today, and it's just really the cost of the domain. So first, choose a domain name. Here's some tips. Keep it simple, short. Use a .com if possible, but honestly, there's so many domains available today. .ninja, .guru, .expert, .pizza. Choose something that represents your business and that can be easy to communicate. So I always recommend saying it out loud to someone else, sending it to someone else just to make sure it doesn't accidentally spell something you don't want it to spell. Purchase your domain. I recommend that you purchase from Namecheap. You can go to fieryeffects.com/get-domains, get right there. When you do this, it will give you all the services you need. Some domain providers don't include things like DNS hosting or email forwarders, and we will need all of those. So if you use Namecheap, you know for sure that you've got all the things that you need. So the first thing is, once you buy your domain, we're going to set it up to receive email. It's very simple, especially with Namecheap. You'll just log into your account. You'll go create a forwarding email address. You choose whatever you want. You at yourbusiness.com, news at mybusiness.com, info at, you can create whatever email addresses you want. You'll just set it to forward to whatever email address whatever email account you're currently using. So if it's Gmail or Yahoo or whatever, you can forward it to that account. So done. That's all you have to do to start receiving email to that account. Very simple. Now the more complicated part. How to send email. It's totally doable. It's a bit more complex. You'll need an SMTP service. Now, don't get overwhelmed. I'm going to walk you through where to get this and how to do it. You can thank spammers for having to do this. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go create a Mailgun account. This is a free account. You just go to mailgun.com, you click sign up, and you create an account. It's very simple. You have to give them your email address, create a password. Just make sure you can log in. Next thing, don't freak out. You're going to have to add DNS records. It's just copying and pasting, because once you create your Mailgun account, it will say what domain do you want to use. You put it in, and then it will give you 2 things that you need to go copy and paste. So you'll go back to Namecheap, to the DNS settings, and copy and paste these things in. There's a lot of acronyms and a lot of things you're not going to understand. It's totally fine. Just follow the instructions and you will be fine. Once that's done, Mailgun will give you some information, SMTP information. So you're going to go to your email provider. So if, for example, if you have Google, go log into your Gmail account, go to settings and accounts and forwarding, I think is what the one is in Gmail is called. And in there, you're going to add a new email address to your send mail as. So remember, this is the part where we're setting up your new email address to send. So you just add a new email address to send mail as. Then it's going to ask you for some SMTP information. You use that host name and login, the username and password from Mailgun to put in there. And then you can update your business cards. You celebrate, use your new email identity, and set up sending on all your devices. So that's it. It's a really quick run through on how to get your free branded email address. You can check out workshops and detailed video tutorials on my website if you wanted a more step-by-step walkthrough. Hope you've enjoyed today's video.